Hey guys, welcome back to the Handy Tech channel. Yes, we're back at part 3 of this kitchen renovation. Here's a quick reminder of what we started with. On the last episode we had some fun in the roof and I showed you how to install supports to hang our cupboards from. We installed a power point for a new cooktop and replaced a dated oven for something modern. In part 3 we'll install some cabinetry and a new extractor. We want to be able to secure the wine rack cupboards to the brick wall, so we removed one side of the cupboard and made some holes. In a previous video I had cut away the cornicing based on a rough guess of where the cupboards would be mounted, but after having all the parts assembled and being able to hold them up in place and shuffle them back and forward, we decided to mount the cupboard slightly further back, so I have to cut away some more of the cornicing. And here's what it looks like with both sides of the cornicing removed. And here is that wine cupboard that we prepared earlier being lifted into place. With the cupboard held in place, we could mark the holes we had drilled into the cupboard onto the walls, then install some wall plugs by first drilling with a masonry bit, then hammering in the plugs. With that sorted, we could hold the cupboard up and level it, then screw through the cupboards and into the wall plugs. It's a good idea to get someone to help you out with this, as the cupboards can get quite heavy. Now we can screw the wine cupboard back together. The next wine cupboard will be fastened to the first cabinet in a similar method. So we had made the same number of holes, 4 holes in the second wine cupboard, and then we could hold that up perfectly square and drill straight through into the first cupboard. And with the second wine cupboard screwed back together, you can see how 2 of them look in place. The exact same steps were used to install the other 2 wine cupboards on the opposite wall. We used a laser to ensure they were aligned with each other. In the first video of this kitchen renovation, we put together a 600mm centre cupboard. However, we have since decided it no longer suits. We want a cupboard that will look more like this. Luckily, Bunnings sells the perfect cupboard for this job. Now with this cupboard there are no pre-drilled holes for the bottom part of the cupboard. I think the idea being that you could adjust how far up inside the cupboard that bottom piece goes. On the underside of the top of the cabinet we drilled some holes so that we can screw through into the supports that were put in the roof. We screwed on one of the doors so that we could hold the cupboard up in place and line it up and just make sure everything was going to suit and be flush. It was also a good chance to do a little test fit for the Rangehood. Then we cut a slot in the back wall so that we could pull through some flexible ducting for the Rangehood. With the ducting in place, we can put the cupboard back up between the wine racks and screw through the ceiling and into that support we put in. I'm using big 60mm wood screws, so it should support plenty of weight. For some additional support, you can always screw in the bottom corners to the wine racks. That way it's supported on 3 sides. We used a piece of string dropped from the roof to pull the extractor plug up behind the cupboards, then we could screw it in place. Once again, it definitely helps having 2 people to do this job.
Righto guys, that's all for episode 3 of this kitchen renovation series. Last things to do, we've got to patch up the ceiling and we've got to patch up where the cornice was taken out, and then we've also got to continue our tile edge around and under the bottom side, cut some tiles to suit and then put that on the back wall, got to grout, we've got to fill in all our little edges with silicone and do some tidy up stuff. Put some door handles on, and then that's pretty much it. So hope you've enjoyed it so far. It's looking pretty good. See you next time.